Hey, welcome to the weekly chat. This might be a little bit shorter than usual. I am recording it on Wednesday because before I wanted to make the post for the week, what I've done is I have some patrons that have not chosen a new tier. And since I changed from charging per item released so that if there were months where I didn't do something, you wouldn't be charged, I've changed to a every month model because I'm still putting out stuff every month. So I've refunded anybody who hasn't chosen a new tier. I'll also send messages to everybody, but I just didn't want anyone to be charged by surprise. So I would rather send the send the stuff back and forth than surprise anybody. So, but you still count as a patron, of course, for the credits crawl on the end of 6 at 6, which I'm really excited about today because the guest is Auburn Music. And Auburn is the person that Lee and I covered her song, Cure My Disaster, for the Streamer Song Swap. So I'm really excited to have more artists that are kind of outside the nerd and folk community. And it's so much fun to have a variety. But she's doing a storytelling song about the Little Mermaid. So I was really, really into it. As far as other stuff, talking about monsters, I started watching The Vampire Diaries. And it is beautiful, soapy trash. And there's a lot of practical special effects makeup for the blood and the gore. And it's people in their 20s playing characters that are supposed to be 15 or 14. And I am here for it. But I think last time I talked a little bit about media that I really love, it's hard to finish. And then media that I don't care as much about, usually I can just inhale. And definitely Vampire Diaries has been one of the ones I can inhale. I actually didn't care much about it until I saw the Jenny Nicholson rundown of The Vampire Diaries. It's like a 3-hour video about all this stuff, but I just thought it was really interesting. And I love a good soap opera. I mean, isn't that kind of one of the parts that drew me to, when I was younger, especially to X-Men, specifically in the comics realm, was that it was this big interpersonal drama soap opera. And I love it. So those are the kinds of things I've been thinking about media-wise this week. I don't know what you have been watching or reading or playing, but I would love to know. I kind of wanted to talk about a more serious thing too, briefly. This week I had some friends have kind of a tiff over mask wearing and what are valid reasons or not to wear masks. And as someone who works in retail, whatever the reasons are, there are ways to say it that are inciting and then ways to say it that are more accommodating and communicative. And I'm not saying, for example, I work in retail and there are people that read lips. So either you don't want to remove your mask, but again, if they need it for accessibility, you either need to, while you're speaking, pull down the mask so that they can understand you. Or one of the things that we've been able to do as a retailer is, we have a backup clear mask that we can use for those cases. But there are ways to accommodate things that aren't in language that's meant to incite and to rile. And I hate that so much of this stuff has become sort of an identity for a lot of people that it's I can be kind of an asshole because XYZ reasons, and you can't be an asshole, and then people kind of hide behind logic or reasons, and it's sad, and I struggle with it too. It's what's the line where you decide to distance yourself from someone, or when you see how they feel about people like you, it can be tough to think, okay, well, when am I next, or when am I gonna push back enough that it'll become a problem? And I think that's a thing a lot of people are in. I don't know how your relationships are with your families, but that's a really great example. People that you love and care about, and realistically you need to continue to have a connection with. Obviously not in every case, but whether it's for care or for family, sometimes there are responsibilities that you can't just bug off. Especially like for me, as my parents are getting older, and Richard's parents are getting older, trying to think about how to navigate these things with people that may not share your social or political views. And what does that mean? I feel like there's a lot of pressure previously to, put everything on pause for Thanksgiving. But at the same time, that's getting less and less feasible, because what I found is a lot of people are, particularly, I'm, obviously on the left, but I feel like a lot of people on the right are getting more and more also less willing to go along to get along. And then there's a lot of pressure on, if they say something and then you say something in return, then you're the squeaky wheel, you're the bitch. And I don't know, it can just kind of be a catch-22. So those are kinds of, I don't really have any answers, but those are things I've been thinking about a lot this week, as I prepare for 6 at 6. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this one. Let me know how's it going in your life. And tonight, I do have 2 new songs. One's kind of a short one about Red Guardian, and then the other one, I accidentally wrote another like feeling song. So I'll be doing that one tonight too. But I'm really excited for tonight because Auburn's song is great. But with that, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for supporting me here on Patreon and also on Twitch subs or people that have donated or tipped. Or again, if you've been able to share my music with somebody, that also makes a huge difference. So thank you so much and stay safe out there.